This is a 2012 Honda Odyssey EXL. So I'm doing the rocker arm oil control valve. Sometimes I think they call it the spool valve. It doesn't matter on this vehicle. And there's already a great video for most of this. The difference is what I'm going to be showing you here. So what I'm showing you is this harness has to come up, which is shown in the other video as well. And I will have a link to that video in the comments to take this valve off here. Right? Same, they show taking this off. The difference is, and I don't know what vehicle they did it on, it may have been Acura. There wasn't a lot of space down here to get these two harnesses off, so I had to make a couple modifications to the procedure. First was I had to take off the this, it's the oxygen sensor. I'm just calling it this, the oxygen sensor harness plate here that holds them in place. I don't know if it can be seen, but it's this plate here. And I had to because maybe it's the size of my fingers or whatever, but I couldn't get to the back side of them in order to take them off and disengage them. But the more important thing is this right here. This is not shown in the other video. This connects inside of this small fuse box here. In order to get to that, so if I can do this one-handed, in order to get to that, it's attached from underneath and in here. And there's also this here. So the best way to get to it is to take this off here, take the top off, disconnect the power. You'll notice I've had to take off the whole plenum as well. Not a big deal, just a couple tabs, plastic tabs. I went ahead and took off, as you should always, took off the negative, but I also had to take the positive off to get clearance here. Once that's off, and then this one's attached. I took off the show. This one's attached. I guess this one actually is attached here, typically. There, that's how it would be attached. So in order to get that, you obviously take the screw out, but you're also gonna have to take the box up, and there's enough slack here to do it, to get it disconnected, right here, right in this spot. One more time. This plate is on here, so you won't be able to get to that properly. Actually, it goes like this. There. You won't be able to get to this because the box will be on top of it. So basically, once you've taken the box off, I've got it sort of, you see, propped back in place just to kind of keep it out of the way. It's hard to do with one hand. And of course, got the cover on it so nothing falls in it. And then once you're to that point, then you can get back to that video where you get this out of the way. And then I'm going to be taking this off down here. But I'm not going to go into that because that's already well covered in the other video. Or part of it, right? And this is basically half of what you would buy if you bought this from Honda. This thing that we're doing, replacing these two gaskets here, is not how Honda would do this. They would replace this whole thing. They would take this whole piece out here, all the way down to there, these two. But we're not doing that. This is, we'll get these gaskets, I guess aftermarket. But anyway, it's hard to get this plate off here. And this plate, this shiny steel plate, reminds me of something you'd see inside of a transmission valve body. I don't want this to bend. Essentially, you've got O-rings mating against this from the valve that I just showed you. And on the other side, you've got a set of O-rings. That's what you're replacing. So I didn't want to scratch it. I didn't want to bend it. I did manage to get an edge. And so I went in and I got my trusty old cards that I keep for different kinds of things, these plastic cards. And I'm trying to work it out by sliding it down in here. I wouldn't use anything metal on this. I'm essentially cutting through the O-ring as I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing, and this is the only way. And I haven't got it off yet, so I've had to use a couple of these cards to work my way down. I'm hoping, because I'm going to run out of card here. I'm hoping that it pops before I run out of card. Like I said, I'm willing to go a little bit sideways with it to get a little tension, but it's obviously been held on by this dowel here. This dowel is probably doing the most work holding it, but I can't get from this side. So I just wanted to add that. I'll keep playing with this. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll come off while we're recording. But I only have one hand, so I don't think it will. So I'll only post this if this actually does work. But I feel pretty good about it right now. All right, so I was just off. I just stopped recording, and look at that. It just came off nice and pretty. There we go, and there's the O-ring underneath it. So, and I didn't bend this, presumably. Drop that. So I didn't bend it, and I didn't mar it. That's important because that gasket's got to sit against there, that O-ring. All right.